was gonna say, you ain't hit me up, you ain't paid child support, you ain't did this. But at the end of the day, I only trust two people in this world. Me and the other ain't you. And I'm just out here to get money and bitches. Hey, talk to this dudes, man.
This is something that you gotta know. The time is now, so I gotta go. Put the hundreds on top. I've been gone for a second. They don't know me on the block. No. My homies don't say much. Look at shorty, but you.
Welcome to another episode of the Followed Out Podcast. Uninformed, unathletic, uncensored, and today, hopefully, a little more organized. I'm here with Doug and Kevin, and this week we're going to go through a couple of segments. We're going to start it off with the power rankings of the NBA as they stand right now. Go ahead, guys.
We're now in the studio.
Technical difficulties level 1.
Are we live? All right, that's foul number 1 for Doug. Doug was setting up the computer. Yeah, we're giving Doug the foul for that. All right, so jumping into week 2. Okay, we're a little bit more organized, as Ant said. We're going to be talking about the NBA power rankings, and we'll get right into it. The Bucks are number 1. Doug, let's hear your take on the Bucks.
Well, I'm thinking the Bucks are definitely going to be most wins this season. They're just a great team. I feel like they've gotten better. They did lose a piece or two, but
yep,
I think they got the perfect system around their best player.
Yep, basically with the stretch 5, Paul Gasol, or with the stretch 5 and Brook Lopez, it just gives Giannis the lane just to run down the lane and cram it. That's what he's been doing. He's the reigning MVP, but what he did say about a week ago in a conference is he doesn't want to be called the MVP anymore until he wins it again. He said the season's over, and then he wants to continue. He wants to try to win it again before he gets called that.
I could see it happening too. He's that good, and his team is perfect.
All right, for number 2, we got the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Denver Nuggets finished with a very strong year. They got their feet wet in the playoffs. They took a 7-game series to the Spurs. They lost. They were doing good. Oh no, wait, did they? They went to 7 with the Spurs. They beat them, and then they lost to the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
All right, so that's foul number 1 for me. That's all right. So 1-1 today.
Quick.
All right. What do you think about the Nuggets? You were talking about Jokic the other day, and he's just phenomenal.
I mean, he's probably one of my favorite players in the league right now.
Like you were saying,
he just does everything right. He does everything on the floor too. And then again, same as the Bucks, he's got just a great system around him, and they're just going to succeed.
My thing is that they were saying is Jamal Murray needs to take a better position as a closer this year.
Yeah,
that's what Coach was saying. It's hard for a big man to close a game. All right,
right. In
the league right now, Embiid isn't closing games. They had Jimmy Butler last year, and they took a giant leap with him. Game 7 Raptors, but typically big men, it's tough to close unless you had Shaq. You know, it hasn't been that way. So
I think Jamal is going to have to take a step up this year as well. He's a great player. I think now that he got the big contract, he's definitely going to be looked at more, especially in the end of the game, like you're saying.
Yeah.
If he's trusted to close the game and he succeeds in doing that,
yep,
they're going to have a phenomenal season.
Gary Harris is going to take another step forward, I'm thinking. So number 3, we got the LA Clippers. Now, to me, there's only 2 teams going for the title. It's Clippers, Lakers, but Clippers are number 3. They're stacked. We talked about it last week. They added Kawhi Leonard. They have Paul George. I mean, that's 2 of the top two-way players in the whole NBA. They're amazing. Yeah. I mean, other than Klay Thompson, I don't know of better two-way players than those guys right there.
They're literally the key two-way players in the league. And to have them on the same team is just outright insane.
Yep, they have Patrick Beverley. They have Wilson Chandler, Paul George. They're just stacked. They picked up Maurice Harkless from the Blazers. They got Montrezl Harrell coming off the bench. They're looking great. They got Rodney Magruder for low. And, they got 6th man of the year 3 times, Lou Williams. Yeah. Lou is unstoppable.
Can't forget about him.
And then they got Zubac during the middle of the season from the Lakers, and that was just a great acquisition.
You think he starts for the team?
I don't know who's going to start at the 5.
I think Zubac starts.
What does it say for you as their 5? Can you bring him up quick?
We got Landry Shamet, too.
Yeah, he's insane.
He'll probably start at the shooting guard.
So it does have Zubac at the 5.
Yeah.
That's
this is all.
He's a shot blocker. He's a rim protector. You need somebody like that. You bring Montrez off the bench. All right, so keep it going.
So if they bring Montrez off the bench, they're going to have 2.
That's what they did last year. They had Harrell and Lou just going crazy off the bench.
Those are 2 really starting caliber players that are just going to dominate other people's benches.
Yeah. So now we got the Sixers bringing it to the East. The first team was from the East also, but then it's looking a lot of West, the rest of the list. But 76ers, they're going to be a powerhouse. We talked about them a little bit last week. They lost some players. They gained even better players. I think that sounds about right. Fourth best team.
Yeah,
but
let's get into them a little bit more later when we're talking about team futures.
Yeah, but my thing is also, like I was saying, if you have a big man closing, which they have Embiid, if he could stay healthy, it's tough. You could collapse. There's so many different things you could do. I think Ben Simmons needs to step it up. I know that he hasn't made a single NBA three-pointer yet to date. I think that's pretty crazy, but we'll talk about him later on. Coming off his first All-Star, he just got a huge contract extension. We'll talk about them soon. And number 5 on the list is the Rockets. Now, Rockets, that's big news. I mean,
Rockets are going to be. I mean, 6 is a good spot for them in overall rankings.
No, that's 5 for them.
Oh, that's 5.
But that's still.
I might not put him at 5. I last week I called it a little differently. I think I was just a little too overhyped for that team. But looking at their full roster now, I don't see them getting to the top 5.
No, I don't really like the roster going forward. I mean, they did get Austin Rivers back. They signed him. They have Iman Shumpert. He's a great defensive player. Gerald Green, he's been a nomad traveler, journeyman his whole career, bouncing around, but he's always been productive. They have a lot of young cats. They have I'm looking right now at the roster, and it's just a bunch of young cats. But who they have is...
I mean, they have good players.
They do, but...
No standout individuals, really.
They have Clint Capella, who's a crazy good 5, So he's all around the rim. He catches the oops. He plays the pick and roll with Harden. They love the lob. They do good. Implementing Russell Westbrook in there is going to be good. But I don't know how far they're going to be and how far they're going to go.
So I've seen a stat that last year, the assist ratio between like the player-to-player assist ratio, number 1 was Harden to Capella. Number 2 was Westbrook to Adams. So now think about Capella. He's going to have a big year this year.
Yeah, they're going to play him big. They love that pick and roll, and they love getting the switch and then taking the big man on the ice. So Harden loves doing the step back 3. Westbrook, terrible 3-point shooter, likes to shoot though, and he'll continue to shoot.
Yeah, he's gonna. He's going to.
Yep, he's always going to.
Yeah, Capella could have a big year just due to the fact that he's got 2 ball handlers that are just going to throw it to him every time.
Absolutely. Number 6 on the list is my team, LA Lakers. My team because I like LeBron. I mean, I think that sounds about right because you know what? I think they're going to have a lot of load management. I don't think they're going to be chasing the 1 seed as much. I think they're just playing for the 7-game series. No, they're not going to want to be at the bottom. They're going to try to be at the higher echelon of the rankings, but they're going to want to rest their players. They're not going to. LeBron's going in 17th season. That's just incredible, and he's still putting up numbers how he is. They have Anthony Davis, who's only 26 years old. He's just going to be a powerhouse. I think
Kuzma, who's going to just
absolutely
continue to develop and continue to be just a great player.
I think LeBron is going to try to divert most of it to Kuzma and Anthony Davis, obviously. I don't think he needs to be the star. I think
he's going to rest throughout the season, especially he didn't get the playoffs last year, and that's probably going to hurt him.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's going to want to get back there.
He might be chasing the MVP, though. I could be totally wrong. But I could definitely – I mean, if Anthony Davis averages 26, 13, and 4, he's going to win MVP for sure. LeBron, 22 points, 23 points, 9 and 9, something around there.
I don't know if he'll get that high.
He could. I mean, last year he had 27, 8, and 8. So if he lowers his points a little bit, he might get an extra rebound, extra assist. His shots might go down a little bit. I don't think he can continue for the rest of his career all 27 to 30. He's got to go down a little bit. I see him
averaging like 26, 6 and 6 probably.
He could for sure. Yeah. He's definitely going to be up there in assists and rebounds.
Yeah, that's going to
I'm not worried about the Lakers. I think 6 is good for him. Now, surprisingly, number 7 is the Boston Celtics. They had a lot of big changes. And one of the biggest changes is losing Kyrie Irving and Al Horford. They lost Terry Rozier also. He went to the Hornets. I think that their locker room is going to be a lot different now. I think it's going
to be better.
It could be, but I think it's just going to be different without Al Horford there. His veteran leadership was good, but you know what? If Gordon Hayward could bounce back to having one of his years like he did at the Jazz, and now he has his old coach that he had at Butler, they're going to be all right. I could see them being 7. It was just kind of shocking.
The thing that worries me about that team is their new starting center is Enes Kanter.
Yeah, I like Kanter. He had a nice season last year in the playoffs.
I feel like he's very immature, and he does not play a lick of defense.
Yeah,
at all. So,
he had a 2020 game last in the playoffs.
I'm not saying he's not good, and his rebounding is nice, and he can score. But if you look at their starting lineup, who's the defenders there? Walker doesn't play great defense.
Nope,
Tatum-
Walker's a
Tatum
nice
can play
ISO
some
player.
D. Hayward can play some D if he tries.
Yep. They have a new point guard from Purdue that I really liked watching him in the tournament, Carson Edwards. He was lighting him up. I remember betting on him one game. He was doing phenomenal.
I don't have much experience with him.
Nope. And then Jason Tatum, if he takes a step forward and becomes that all-star that he could in the East, it's the East. They're kind of weak. I mean, who knows? They have 3 stars then. If it's Kemba, they have Jason Tatum, and then they have Gordon Hayward. If you have 3 all-stars, you could contend for anything. So that I can see it.
For sure. But that depends on Hayward coming back healthier and getting back into form. I think Tatum is on like the brink of being a star. Yeah, I think he might get there this year.
Yep, it's his 3rd season. The first season, he was figuring everything out. Second season, he was making adjustments. Now this 3rd season, boom, he knows what he's going to do. Exactly. He's been eating healthier, hopefully preparing his body for for years to come. First couple years, people slack sometimes.
Right.
So going forward with number 8 is the Portland Trailblazers. Now, I think the Portland Trailblazers, because of how they finished, could be up a little more, but I don't know how much up. I think that they're better than the Rockets are as currently constructed with the backcourt
and
of
they picked up
CJ.
Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, but Hassan Whiteside was a problem in Miami. I heard it was hard to motivate him. I heard that they couldn't get him to play once they paid him. But the good thing is about having Hassan is this is his contract year. Exactly. So next year he's going to be due for a contract. So he's going to work his tail off this year so he can get paid.
Yeah, he's going to show out this year.
Hopefully he does.
And he might be motivated.
Because he showed spurts of greatness at times. 2020s, he was doing good.
All right, yeah, and let's move on to the next one. Who do we got?
All right, we have the Utah Jazz, and I
see that.
I think Jazz should be higher. I really like their team. Conley getting
it's going to take them some time to get everything working on their side.
Yeah, adding Conley and Bojan Bogdanovic is huge. Bojan can close games. Conley can close games. That's veteran leadership right there.
Just to
Donovan
get the chemistry
Mitchell
going, it's going to take some time for them to get going. That might affect where they'll.
That's true. I think that they're one of the top contenders and a long shot, though, if you're betting at all. I think Mitchell's going to come off as a stud. He had a little bit of a down year, but like I said, your second year, you're adjusting. He's going to come out and show out.
Yeah, I think same thing with Jason Tatum. He's going to have a great year this year.
And the 10th one that's a power ranking is the Toronto Raptors. Now, the Raptors, to me, I don't really care about talking much about them. They lost Kawhi Leonard. I don't feel that they're going to be a contender. I think Siakam's going to step it up and be an all-star. Other than that, I don't really know. I think they might be okay, win somewhere in the 40s.
I don't see them making the top 10. But who knows? Siakam could take a big step.
Yep, they have some good chemistry. They're coming off a championship. I could see 40 to 44 wins. Who knows though? I don't.
Right.
All right.
I think we're gonna cut the power rankings there. What's next on the list?
We're gonna move on to the T-shirt giveaway.
Yeah. All right. So everyone who is not on Instagram at Fouled Out NBA, we have posted a picture of a T-shirt that we're giving away. All you need to do is like it and then comment and tag 2 people. It doesn't matter who. Just tag 2 people, and you are in the running to win the shirt.
So far, we only have 2 eligible entries, so we need a couple more entries. All you gotta do is tag 2 people.
Let us get 10 entries and then we'll go. We don't want to just do it with a few. And I think Anthony might be one of them, our host. So we have to have at least.
I did not count myself.
All right, he didn't count himself, but that's fine.
So we got 2 total entries.
All right, so what's next on the list?
All right, next on the list we have championship odds.
And the championship odds kind of goes with the power rankings and why I brought it up.
But there's some doozies there.
Yeah, so number 1, so even though they're not the number 1 power ranked team, the favorite in Vegas right now is the Clippers. And they're plus 330, which means if you put $100 on them right now at plus 330, you win 330 if they win it. Yeah, you don't win the best odds, but that's the favorite right there. And number 2 is the Lakers. So the Lakers are 6 on the power rankings, but they're plus 400. So you win 4 times your money. You put 100 on them. If they win, you win 400. I like those odds personally.
I like those odds. I think the Lakers and Clippers are definitely going to be just the 2 top tier teams right now.
Yep.
And I think that if you're betting 1 and 2, those are the 2 that are going to be there.
Yep. And
this is where it gets a little tricky. They got Bucks and Rockets next. The Bucks are at plus 420.
I kind of like the odds at 420 because, like we're talking about, I mean, in the East, I think it's a two-way race. I think it's the Bucks and the 76ers. I don't see anybody really coming out of the East except the Bucks or the 76ers. So I kind of like the odds at 420. Once again, plus 420 means you put 100 on them, you win $420.
So they got the 76ers at plus 750. I feel like the numbers should probably be a little closer there because I think they're pretty close in terms of how many wins they're going to get.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The chances of them winning a title.
750 is not bad. So what you could do there is in 2 weeks, the Turning Stone is open in Caesars the Lounge where you could legally bet sports. And at 750, if you laid down $1 on them and they make it to the finals, you could hedge yourself on the other team. So either way, you could probably turn around and make some money depending on what the series odds are. So 750 is not bad. Rockets plus 700. I don't mean to cut you off, but the Rockets at 700, I don't like. I mean, the West is strong. I just don't know how those two are going to mesh. You could talk a little bit more about that, or you don't.
The Rockets. Westbrook does not have a good record in the playoffs, so betting on him to win the championship is a rough bet. I wouldn't take plus 700. If they were over 1,000, I might consider taking them.
What's the one you like though?
The Nuggets. Yeah. All right, the Nuggets are plus 1,800.
18 to 1. $100 wins 1,800. Let me tell you something though to backtrack. A month and a half ago, before Anthony Davis went to the Lakers were 20 to 1 odds. You put $100 on them, you would have won $2,000. You put $100 or you would have put 1,000 on them, you would have won $20,000. But now it's 4 to 1. So I wish I would have jumped on that, but there was nowhere to bet it legally around here for futures. So
right.
But keep going. And then I wrote down one more. I think the Warriors at 1,300. I don't like them. They're returning. How many finals in a row they went to? 4 or 5 finals. I don't think that they're.
I think they might. I think they have a shot. 13 is probably still a good bet for them. I mean, they're gonna have a healthy Clay. I hope.
Yeah, there's going to be bettors out there. They're at a new arena. Somebody's going to lay down 13 to 1.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then so we got the defending champs at plus 2,800.
No shot.
That's nuts. I wouldn't take it.
Nope. 28 to 1. I don't care. Nuggets are better at 18 to 1 to me. So, go forward with our next segment.
The next segment you have is team futures. Now, does this mean you want to talk about the future of the team or betting odds?
They're facing this year, what they
no, I think for futures we could have been talking about like
contracts.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yep. So we were talking about how we were going to touch more on Ben Simmons. Just this week, he locked a 5-year, $170 million contract. Now, the only person on his team that's getting paid more is I seen Ben Simmons called him Mr. 180 on Instagram. Tobias Harris, he's getting 180, and the whole core is locked up, man. I mean, look at that.
Their core is locked up for years to come, which is just awesome. We got Joel Embiid 5 years, $150 million. Got Tobias Harris at 180, like you just said. I think that's 5 years.
Yep, and Al Horford, they got 4 years at 109. So they're all long-term deals, and they're ready to win a championship. They lost Jimmy Butler 17 points per game, but they gained Josh Richardson's defense.
They had a good year last year in the playoffs, so like they show that they can win.
Yeah,
and they can show that they're going to fight.
You know, I just seen that yesterday that Kyle Korver had a 2-way tie. He didn't know who he wanted to sign with. It was either the Jazz or the 76ers, and he chose the Jazz. But, you know, losing J.J. Redick and picking up Korver would have been real nice, but they didn't.
That would have been a good pick.
Yeah, losing J.J. is pretty tough. And then, Anthony, we're going to continue, actually.
Well, we got Warriors. Let's talk about
hold
Warriors.
on. Actually, speaking more about Ben Simmons, okay? So I think that he needs to take a leap. Like I said, Ben Simmons has never made an NBA three-pointer in his career. He's been in the league for 3 years now. Next year is going to be his 4th. He's coming off his first East All-Star. If he can learn how to shoot, he can be an elite player. He is phenomenal.
I'm hoping this year he just tries a few more.
Yeah.
You never know. He might catch a rhythm and they just start to go in the hole. So,
yep.
Like, try. He tried 18 in 3 years. Or 2 years.
I have heard from just reading and stuff. Well, so it's not hearing. I've read that he is not a gym rat. He's not addicted to the gym like some of the greats are, and that could be a thing.
Oh, that's bad news. Then.
Exactly. He's not in the gym 24/7 like some of these guys are working. So that could hurt him.
Yeah, I just want to see him try some more 3-pointers.
So hey man, you're not in the gym 24/7. All right, leave him alone.
Hey, but listen, we're talking about max contracts players, and to be in that max contract, whoever else is in that conversation, they're all gym rats. You're talking Russell Westbrook, Dame Lillard, Steph Curry, James Harden, Chris Paul, all those top guards. They're all gym rats. They all work very hard. I'm not saying he doesn't, but I heard that he's not in there constantly.
So what do you see from the Warriors this year?
All right.
How do you think they're going to
Well, there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about. Out of 24 players last year in the Toronto series, Ben Simmons had the lowest PER. He was the least effective, and he averaged only 12 points per game. They basically shut him down in the playoffs, and he was the lowest PER out of everyone. But yeah,
I'm gonna say he had a hard time in his first playoff run. Like, I mean, I think that'll come with time and experience there. But yeah, so Warriors next. How do you feel about them?
All right, so Anthony, we called the segment. We're introducing it this time, okay? It's called Where Do the Warriors Go Next, okay? So I think they did a decent job in the offseason. You know, you lose Durant, you lose Livingston, you lose Iguodala. You re-sign Kevin Looney for basically peanuts, and you got Russell for a trade and sign. That's pretty solid. And you know, next year Green is due for a contract, and I heard that Curry, he's a huge fan of Draymond. So in 2015, they said that when Green was going up for when he was going up for contracts extension, and he did a good play at a game or something, Curry would look at GM Bob Myers and tell him to pay that man.
And there's never been a rift between them, like in the media. There's never been a Durant talking shit to Curry, nothing like that. And, or I mean Draymond, but like Draymond does that with every other teammate. So.
Yeah, it seems they do. Yeah, he gets into feuds. He's a pit bull though. You need somebody like that on the court. He's got that grittiness. He brings that toughness. He brings that leadership. But like you said, I've never seen him get into it with Clay. I've never seen him get into it with Curry. I think they keep that core together. They pay him.
Yeah, when you think about it, that is their core.
So
having Durant was a benefit.
This year, what you do, they're not going to do it. They're winners at heart. They're champions. I'd say tank. You know, try to get a draft pick or something. They're not going to tank though. No. But you know what? Thompson has had surgery, and he's going to be out for 9 to 10 months with a torn Achilles. He got his Achilles returned, but he's not going to return until oh yeah, wait, he didn't tear, it was his ACL.
Yeah, Durant was the Achilles.
Oh, okay, I'm shot.
Foul number 2.
That's foul number 2. I definitely he tore his damn Achilles.
But well, no,
he's out for 9 to 10 months. He's going to return in March to April, and then he's going to need to condition. Who knows if he'll be game ready by then?
Yeah, no, it's going to be tough, but game ready for him is just him throwing threes.
That's true. That's
true. If he can still just nail a 3-pointer, he's still going to be good for them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All right, but enough about the Warriors. I hate talking about them.
Yeah.
So
the reign is over, I think, for now.
Another team I wanted to talk about was the Wizards.
Okay.
I feel like their future is just muddy.
They're fucking trash.
They don't have any shot of winning.
Nope.
They're paying way too many people, way too much money.
Yep, they have the highest payroll in the NBA. I don't know what they're gonna do with John Wall.
John, where does he go? What happens to him?
I don't know. What the hell do you think? I mean, who
is
wants
there a
to
suitable trade for him?
Now, the only way would be some team is like, I want Bradley Beal, so I'm gonna take John Wall.
Right.
Other than that, I don't fucking know.
I think Miami is the only real option there, but do they have a suitable trade? I don't see one.
I don't know.
I don't see one on any team that can just.
Like I was saying, Dragic is 19 mil. They would have to make up a $21 million difference. That's a lot of goddamn money in the NBA.
Yeah.
So
I just wanted to pick on the Wizards a little bit there.
Yeah.
So another team that I was thinking about talking about is the Thunder.
Oh yeah.
So they have a real bright future. But what did they do this year? They got Chris Paul just sitting on a boatload of money.
So like honestly, let me bring up their current roster because I think the Thunder can win like 40 games.
I think they can make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean 8 seed, brink of the 8 seed.
Yeah, I could see the 8 seed. But honestly, their starting lineup, they got Chris Paul. They have Steve Adams if they don't get rid of him. They got let me see here. Who else we working with? They got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah,
he's dirty.
Who's going to be great under Chris Paul if Chris Paul stays.
If Chris Paul teaches him a thing or two.
They got Gallo who can stay if he stays healthy. He's always been a great player.
Yo, they got Gallo. I see they got Pat Patterson. He's good for a 3 or 2. They got Schroeder coming off the bench. And
do they still have Roberson?
They got Roberson. He was injured last year. I think he'll be back. Great defensive player.
Strong. He's one of the best defensive.
They got Mike Muscala. He's trash as shit. Christian, if you're listening, you remember old Mike Muscala, garbage ass. Yeah, Thunder, they have 1 million draft picks. So say they get rid of Chris Paul too, man. Now they just traded Paul George for draft picks, Russell Westbrook for draft picks, and then they traded Chris Paul for draft picks. Now you're sitting on 5,001 draft picks. You tank this year, you get the first pick, and now wow.
Their future is so bright, it's insane. But what do you think about Adams? Do you keep him on the team or do you?
I don't know. He's worth something. He's dirty as shit.
He's worth a lot.
Yeah, Adams is sick.
He's worth a lot. But do you build around him or
you don't build around him? But you add him you add him for what he wants.
So you don't trade him now. You don't trade him now because he's worth something and try to get your future even brighter.
All right, you could do that. So if you did some crazy. Yeah, if you did something crazy and got rid of Chris Paul and Steven Adams for even more picks, You're talking about Sam Presti's like the genius in
Maybe-
basketball in the last
I mean, he
20
already is.
years. Yeah,
But maybe not
seriously.
even picks. Maybe just like rookies. Maybe a team's not liking the rookie right now, wants to trade him.
Sure,
Or
they want
really
picks,
young
though.
players. Yeah, you always want picks, but they have like 12.
They want more, and they will take more. They want eventually they want to do what the Celtics did and just
Sit on them. Yeah,
just sit on them and just pick. Just
Flexibility,
do it right.
that's the key.
Exactly.
They just want to pick the whole world, but we really need to move on to my next segment because it's
All right,
my favorite segment. Of the show.
Your favorite.
Which one is that?
So
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into Carmelo Watch.
Oh, goddamn! That I forgot that was a segment.
Oh yeah.
The Carmelo Watch. I don't goddamn
So
know a thing about Carmelo.
We're Syracuse boys. We're gonna keep tabs on Carmelo. That's my favorite player of all time.
All right. Yeah.
Is
Carmelo Watch.
there anything out there? Of him
Where in
signing
the world is
anywhere?
Carmelo?
Honestly, does anybody know where Carmelo is?
I can't find him.
Well, I know that I would take him on the Lakers. That boy is a baller forever. He could drop 15, 16 off the bench. Doesn't play a lick of defense, but it doesn't matter. You give him a second role, which he should accept. I don't think he will because he wants to end his career above 20 points per
I
game.
feel like he accepted his hit the bench role.
No, that's why he
in the
didn't play.
Rockets.
No, that's why I only played 13 games with him. He called it a dub. He said, they came to a mutual agreement or something. He didn't make a fuss about it. He didn't.
No, he didn't care that he got cut. I mean,
No.
I wouldn't either. He's still getting paid to sit on a yacht somewhere with some model.
Yeah, all right. Carmelo Watch is done. Anthony, I don't know what you're doing, but we're looking at the duo league next, so I'll get us in there. So we basically came up with like some of the top duos in the league, and one healthy man, Durant, Irving, crazy.
Yeah, so not this year, but next year for sure. They're going to show out.
Yeah, maybe just go like I'll just name them and we could talk about some that stand out.
So I mean, obviously the top duo, in my opinion, right now is PG and Kawhi.
All right, that's debatable because LeBron and Anthony Davis. You're talking about LeBron and Anthony. I mean, Kawhi is crazy with Paul George, but Anthony Davis is better than Paul George, and LeBron is arguably better than Kawhi. So
I don't know about that. Man.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. I know it's your favorite player.
It's not. Who's
but
more accomplished?
obviously LeBron,
Okay.
but Kawhi is younger. He's got all the tools.
All right. Well,
Kawhi has all the tools. To make
LeBron.
every-
No, LeBron has way more career points, way more career
not-
assists,
yeah,
way
but
more. He came
I
into the
get that.
league balling.
he's
It
a
took
legend.
Kawhi to develop. Kawhi's a legend too. But
I
I'm
agree.
just saying, LeBron is better than Kawhi right now.
Right-
LeBron
right
is
now
still
in the
probably
league.
the best player in the NBA. Still at 37, best player in the NBA. And then Ant Davis.
I don't agree there.
That's all right.
I don't agree there.
That's fine.
I'm gonna say the best player in the league right now is Kawhi.
All right, that's fine.
And if I'm saying top 5 best players, PG's on there too.
He might.
So is
be.
AD though.
He might be. I don't think I don't know if PG is top 5. So I go LeBron.
PG was like
I go
top 3 in MVP last year.
It's all right. That's last year. I mean, I'm going overall. There's still players out there that are better. So I'm going with LeBron. I'm going with Durant. I'm going with
Durant's
Kawhi.
out this year.
I'm
though.
going with Kawhi. I'm going with Steph Curry. I'm going as number 4. I'm going with Giannis at 5. And then 6.
Those are tough.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
6,
Curry's
you
an
can go
amazing-
James Harden. I think Harden's better than Paul George.
I don't.
He doesn't pass more and shit like that. But
I think I would rather have Paul George on my team than Harden.
I don't know about that. Well, that's debatable too. But
I mean, yeah, I like different styles. You know.
all right, so we'll continue. We went. Or actually, I didn't even name the duos
Yeah.
that are dirty. We don't even got to talk about too much. But you got Durant and Irving in Brooklyn. You got Kawhi, Paul George. You got LeBron and Anthony Davis, Curry and Clay, and then you got Russell Westbrook, Harden, Dame and CJ. That's retarded too. They're dirty, man.
Yeah, they're always going to be
Yep.
just great, and no one talks about them, but they're just phenomenal.
Giannis and his wingman Middleton. They're great because Middleton
I'm
is
hoping
his
Middleton
wingman.
steps up a little bit
He
more.
made his All-Star last year, but that's
Yeah.
because of Giannis.
That's Simmons and Embiid.
Yeah,
which
they're
we
dirty.
just talked about, but I think they're just going to have good years as well.
The slept on Jokic and Murray. We love
that's-
Jokic.
that's
He's
one of my
dirty.
favorite players.
Yep. And then last,
Last one,
you got
who we
Kemba and Tatum.
Kemba and Tatum, yeah.
Yep.
That's if Tatum steps up this year. I mean, he's like on the brink, like I said earlier. He's
Mhm.
almost there.
And then you got the throwback, John Wall and Brad Beal.
I'm not even.
That's the throwback backcourt. Brad Beal is a baller.
Yeah,
He's disgusting.
Beal needs to escape.
He's a top 10 player to me. Last year, he averaged 25, 5, and 5. He is filthy. Love
he
him.
needs to escape that team.
Yep.
Get
yep.
out.
What does Chris Paul do?
Chris,
I know we talked about the Thunder's future, but what's Chris Paul's future?
he doesn't got much time left.
No?
No, I mean maybe 1 or 2 years, in my opinion.
He's 34.
He's still good. Yeah,
He could play till 40.
No,
He
he
doesn't
can't
have
play
the
till
knees
40.
to. He puts the load management together. He could play for a while, I think.
I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He played. I don't know how long he played at Wake Forest.
He's injury
but,
prone, so that's counting against him.
Yep.
So I mean, he's 30. What's 36 now?
34.
34. Yeah, I'll give him till 36, and then he's gone.
2 years.
That's what I'll say.
Jeez, man. There's way worse players in the league than him. He could still pass.
I'm
with
not
one
saying
arm.
he's going to be like
if
he's going to go
Chris
out as
Paul
the worst
had
player.
one arm and one leg, he could play for a couple years, passing and average 10 assists.
I'm not saying he's going to be a shit player when he goes out, but I think he's going to retire. I mean, he's not on a championship team. He's sitting on a Thunder. If he doesn't get traded to a contender, what's he got to play for?
Yeah, that's true. So we're gonna go on to our next segment, NBA 2K20 ratings. I'm bringing them up right now. Actually, let's see. Let's
Talk about that because I got some
I
gripes with that.
want to point out real quick.
What's up, bro?
Kevin hasn't taken a breath in 30 minutes.
And how long?
30 minutes. You haven't taken a breath.
Yeah, I have. And this water bottle's half gone.
Anyway, we're 30 minutes in, just so you guys know.
We're 30 in. Well, we're continuing the
I think we're
show.
gonna keep it running a
Just
little
keep
bit.
going.
Yeah, because I still got more to talk about.
We got any viewers here? I haven't checked.
Is anybody watching? All right.
We got 5 viewers.
We got 5, but it's all right. It's for the
PJ's here.
content. It's for the content. And shout
We
out
got
PJ.
PJ. Shout out
PJ, we
PJ.
always got you, brother.
PJ's a
We
riot.
always got you.
All
right.
So dual leagues. I mean,
No, 2K ratings. So it's got LeBron James at a 97 and Kawhi Leonard 97 tied up.
Yeah.
I didn't look at these beforehand. I
No,
might have
me
seen
neither.
it on Instagram, but I just brought them up.
real quick.
They got Giannis at a 96, Durant at a 96. We're neck and neck. Curry and Harden are also a
Man,
96.
they dirted on Paul George. I don't
Anthony
see
Davis at 94. Yeah, bro, I told you. He's a.
that. I don't see that.
I
They got Paul George at 93.
I named
for
every single one of these players before Paul George without saying. I named all of these.
years.
You could go back.
You did.
All right, so then you got Lillard, Embiid, Irving after that. They're all 92, 91, 91. Jokic, Westbrook, 90, 90. Klay Thompson,
So
89s.
here's where I have a gripe with this system. I
What?
don't think Jokic is a fucking 90. He's higher than a 90. Granted, he's not the most athletic.
He doesn't have the
person.
most playoff experience. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably for some athleticism. It's probably for speed.
Yeah,
He's
he's
probably
slow.
rated like a goddamn 50 in speed.
But
So
when you
that
think
brings his
about
overall down.
Everything else he does on that team.
Yeah, but you got to think the game
In the
rates
game-
like speed, all that shit. Like,
Yeah,
it has
yeah.
to. Like it takes like his strength is probably up. Who knows how that shit works?
Yeah.
Agility.
You're right. And he is slow.
He's slow as
He's
shit.
slow.
He's a fucking acrobat with the ball though. Let me tell you,
his
he
ball
is a
IQ
goddamn
insane.
acrobat.
So,
All right.
I mean, there's not really much to talk about here. We just wanted to run through that.
Yep. So, all right. I
I
honestly,
wanted to rub it in that Paul George was a 93, whatever.
yeah, seriously, the summer league. The summer
League.
league
Yeah, let's talk
wrapped
about
it
the
up.
summer league.
That's pretty cool. The Grizzlies, they got to contend for something. They're not going to contend
It's
for
pretty
a
cool. They
goddamn thing.
won without John Morant too.
Yeah.
So I mean that shows some promise for that. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know how many teams were actually their players, or
Yep.
how many players were actually their team.
I heard that Zion is fat as shit, 300. He's got to lose like 40 pounds. They're
You think
talking.
that's why he only played 10 minutes in the summer league?
Yeah, he wasn't
I
in
think that
conditioning.
knee on knee shit was bogus.
He was taking a tour. He's taking a world tour right now. It's all right. He's a baller. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna drop the weight. He's gonna eat right. He's not down south anymore. He's not gonna be eating chicken and gravy and biscuits and shit. He's in Orleans. He's gonna be eating gumbo. All right. He's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I think he'll be good. I mean, he was definitely looking big in the summer league, and I read online that they're trying to bulk him up and then cut him down. So I think he's going to look a lot more lean once the season starts.
You know what I'm excited for? The goddamn lounge, bro. I cannot
yeah, me
wait for
too,
the
man.
Turning Stone to start taking bets. I'm gonna lose so much.
Mark,
not so much, but I'm gonna lose some money there.
Oh, no.
Well, that's Fred. Let me know. All right, we're live again. We had a dog barking. That's all right. That's Freddie boy. He's a good boy. He's a golden retriever. I have one too. Shout out to Bino. All right. So basically, the last segment that we're going to talk about is the Syracuse football opening up against the Liberty Flames. The first game is the 31st of August, 6 p.m. It's on ESPN. It's we should beat the shit out of them. Too bad we can't bet on Syracuse sports at the lounge when they open up. You can't do any Syracuse or no New York college teams. That's what it is. Okay. They have
I'm not a huge football fan. Everyone knows this, but this year I'm going to attempt to get into it, and I think I might go to a few SU football games.
Guys, do we have any details on O'Shea Brissett's contract? PJ's asking.
Brissett. I don't think O'Shea Brissett has a goddamn contract. I think he's trolling. I think he's been trolling. Shout out to PJ. But back to the football.
He
big
signed with
home-
the Raptors.
O'Shea Brissett is.
He signed with the Raptors.
He is goddamn garbage.
He signed today.
Today?
I swear to
See,
God.
how am I so, bro? Who? I don't keep up with O'Shea Brissett's
How am I
news.
giving the news?
What's that?
Why am I
good for
giving
you.
the
Good
news
for
right
you.
now?
Thank you, host, for giving us the word on O'Shea Brissett's contract with the Raptors. And that is all on O'Shea Brissett. All right.
And that's all we're going to talk about.
That's all
O'Shea
we're
Brissett.
talking about him on. So the big homecoming game for Syracuse is versus Clemson, September 14th. That's at the Dome. That's going to be huge. Once again, September 14th.
PJ says foul number 2.
Foul number 2.
I think I'm going to take a foul there.
Wait, that's foul
How-
3. Kevin fouled out.
No,
Oh,
that's
shit,
not.
what do we do?
That was 2 for me.
That's 3.
How?
I'll go back and go to the other foul. You had 2 fouls. That's the
No,
third
we only
one.
called 1. It was 1 on Doug, 1 on me.
You had 2.
No, you didn't.
All right.
We got a discrepancy.
I mean,
here.
there's-
I don't give a
there's
shit.
There's
We
a
got
recording.
We got people
Guys,
saying 3 fouls for Kev.
let me tell you something. I don't give a goddamn shit
you're
about
fouled
O'Shea
out, bro.
Brissett. All right. I'm fouled out.
I don't know what that means yet. We'll figure it out later.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe he pays for the free shirt.
I think he's getting an
Damn,
embarrassing.
Ben just said 3. Ben, I did not have 3. There's no way. Doug had 1.
gonna
I
rewind
had
the
1.
tape. We're gonna
I
figure
had
this
2.
out.
We'll figure it out
We'll
after.
announce it on Instagram. Everyone follow us.
But versus Clemson last year, 23-27, lost by 4. I mean, we did good. We ended the season 10-3, ranked 15th in the AP 25, 6-2 in the ACC, 6-0 at home.
Take a breath. Take a breath. I didn't
That's
hear
about
any of
all.
that.
I don't care. That's about all I have for today. I mean, we went over the
Yeah, I
time
think
limit.
we're
All
good
the
for today.
content's up. I'm basically looking forward to this lounge opening. Shout out to all the viewers. Thanks for listening to Fouled Out. We're a little bit more organized. Have a good night. Check in
So,
next week.
Real quick,
All
the
right.
T-shirt winner will be announced on Tuesday.
No, we have to have at least 10 people to sign up. We're not just announcing it with 2. So sign up, find out how to get your goddamn T-shirt, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Have
All
a
right.
good night, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye, everybody.